Hey, howdy. Welcome to the last of the Peggle promotional games that I'll be playing, I believe. Unless there's one that I somehow forgot. This. Peggle Extreme. The tie-in with Valve, of all companies. Kind of a weird combination, but, I mean, I think it works out. Oh. And again, I go back to my old question. I might have actually played these out of order, because this is using a regular old Peggle's engine, and the World of Warcraft edition was using Peggle Knights. I think the actual order that these came out was original Peggle, then Extreme, then Knights, then Warcraft. But again, this begs the question, is this official Valve art? A, and B, is this like... What's the best way to describe it? Was this art made with the PopCap characters in mind, or were they photoshopped in after the fact? I'd be willing to believe either of them, either answer, to be honest. Cleverly done, Mr. Freeman. It is kind of a shame that of all the Peggle masters to be stuck with here, Bjorn is the least interesting. But it's not like I expected custom Peggle masters for these. These are just like cute little promotional things. Ooh. It is really funny how these sort of crossovers work out, though, where it's just like... It's a showcase of the hugely popular Peggle and this underground other set of games you might have heard of before. Like especially for Warcraft. Back in the day when Warcraft was like already popular but starting to get even more so, because I think Warcraft peaked around, peaked in popularity around Wrath of the Lich King, though I can't say for sure. I wasn't around back in the classic days. Hell, I've never actually played Warcraft, so I'm not even around during the modern days. Something I should note about this one as well. For most of the games that I've been playing, I've had to go out of my way to find like either shareware versions or like other versions because they're no longer available for purchase anywhere anymore. This one is different. This one is still free on Steam. And I mean, you know, considering the content, I can only imagine why. But it's so funny that I'm pretty sure this was included with the orange box.
Cleverly done.
Imagine buying the orange box and getting this. And I mean, considering the time period, you'd probably be pretty happy with it. Just like a cute little thing alongside stuff that you were actually interested in, like the Half-Life games or TF2 or... This might have even been before Portal. This might have actually been before Portal 2. I forget when Portal 2 came out. What is going on with this image? Because obviously there's Jimmy, being flambéed over there, but look at the, like, what is with the outline on the pyro? Forget Jimmy looking photoshopped in. The pyro looks photoshopped into this image. Is it like an art style thing, or what's up with that? A. You know what? I have the balls for it. Okay, I guess I don't have the balls for it anymore. It's about to say I'll go for Ultra Extreme Fever. Guess not. I don't actually remember how long this one is, so I might end up going back and doing the challenges or something.
You did well!
Thanks, Heavy. Yeah, it's the same thing again. Why are they... What's with the weird outline around the characters? Bjorn and Heavy. I almost called him Misha. I don't think I know the Heavy from Team Fortress 2 on a first name basis. Though, while I'm on the subject of Valve, something that comes to mind specifically with regards to TF2 that I would recommend to even to people who don't actually play TF2. There's a set of webcomics that were created to accompany the game and carry quite a bit of lore, and they're actually really, really, really good. It's incomplete. I believe if I understand correctly, the entire series was supposed to be 7 comics long, and they only ended up making 6. I think at one point the lead duo of people artists who worked on it expressed interest, but because of the nature of Valve and how compartmentalized everything is, they would have to get the whole gang back together to really make TF comic number 7, which is looking less and less likely by the year. It's not like they need voice actors or something, but there's a lot of their great writers, for instance, are now off on different ventures. Some of them even on non-Valve ventures, to my understanding. I think a good amount of them have left the company at this point. And I don't really blame them. In the modern day, Valve is not really a gaming company. They're more of a games distribution company. And I'd say Valve still gives it their all, but who am I kidding? It's freaking Valve. Valve is as far as big companies go, Valve is the lowest effort big company I have ever seen. And I don't mean that in a bad way. Like celebrating the anniversary of Steam with not even a minute-long video and a series of drawings of memes, which is extremely on-brand. I think this hits both. There we go.
You did well!
Ah, my worst enemy, shapes. Oh, completely missed the purple. But it really, like, even back in this time, it was a different time for Valve, for PopCap, and basically for the whole gaming industry at this point. Oh. Oh. There we are. There's a chance that I mess this up, but it's a chance that I'm willing to take. Please. Yes! Oh my god.
Sector clear.
I guess I was wrong too. Cat Tut isn't even in this demo. It is just Bjorn. I guess I was thinking of the first level where it is Cat Tut in the picture. Please stop missing every single orange peg, I beg of you. I'm trying to clear out some junk, but at least, like, while you're at it. No. Okay. Now we can actually get some work done. Everything's over here. Hopefully I can reach all of it. Oh. Yeah, I can.
Once again, excellent work.
I have to wonder what super dated references are going to be in the names of the challenges, considering what freaking World of Warcraft edition had with Ponixia and Fat Loots and stuff like that. Oh, I can only imagine. I do like the portals, because they have to exercise quite a lot of restraint when it comes to the portals, so they don't create a bunch of situations that are literally impossible unless you do the puzzle in a certain way. Because chaos theory aside, there are certain situations where I would be completely stuck. See, now that's just unfortunate, but luckily I have Super Guide, so I have a way out. Oh, shoot! Cool! Wait, that's really cool. It shows the entire path out. There's an angle here. Yeah! There's my angle. Interesting. So the sparkles actually, like, if it goes through a portal, the sparkles, like, follow the ball as it travels.
Once again.
Oh no, we've been put into the incinerator, just like in hit game Portal. Now that I think about it, the Peggle music is the only or the Peggle Knights music is some of the only music that I still haven't ripped with OpenMPT and my entire freaking setup. But I think that's some of the only music left that is easy to rip. Because I don't know if I've mentioned it before, but there's a select few games, notably those made by child companies that aren't proper PopCap. Like, I was having this trouble with Iggle Pop. Some of the music in those games is packed inside of the game files themselves, or like the game executable. So if I want those files, it's gonna be rough. I think I have a method, but it would... The trouble is, it starts to get into very sketchy territory when I have to consider things like finding tools to unpack executables, because after a certain point, I don't think those are legal. Or if not illegal, they definitely toe the line. And look, I'm gonna be perfectly honest. With things like this, I don't really care about... Okay, this is a difficult sentence to say.
Once again.
I don't necessarily care about breaking the law here, because this is a very, very specific situation, and there's no other way for me to get access to this music. So I'm fine with taking a leap of faith here. The trouble is that I'm sure as a lot of you know who have browsed on the internet. Does it have credits? Nope. Okay, it's just a blank screen. As many of you know who browse on the internet, the more illegal something is, the harder it is to find, not because it's illegal, but because people... Oh, what? I'll try those. But the more illegal something is, the harder it is to find on the internet, mainly because the more illegal something is, the more likely it is to be malware, and not what you're looking for. Not to mention the other problem of you are downloading something that is illegal. So depending on the circumstances, you could have situations like your ISP or your ISP or internet provider intervening and saying, hey, wait a minute, you can't do that. It's a whole thing. I am happy though that I live in the United States. Kind of a hard pivot, but the context makes sense. I'm happy to live in the United States because in the US, oh my god. Thanks to a little thing called net neutrality, I don't have to worry about my internet history being filleted by a fine-tooth comb. Or filed through, rather, by a fine-tooth comb. Filleted means, like, cut open. I can actually do things that what's the best way to describe it? I can do things that I would be uncomfortable showing my grandma, or something like that. Without some dude from the CIA rifling through it because I am, by some weird extension, connected to some court case from 15 years ago, and he now has a half warrant to search my computer. Because those are the kind of weird edge cases that would come up if net neutrality was not a thing. It wouldn't happen very often, but when you think about the grand scheme of things, in law, nothing happens often. It's all about precedent. Like, unless you're talking like, what's the word for it? Custody and like post-mortem estate disputes, there are very few court cases that are similar. There's always going to be some kind of factor that precludes it from being just a simple and easy case, because that's just the way that life works. Something is always going to come up to make it just a little bit more difficult and a little bit more challenging. And that's why lawyers get paid as much as they do. Or lawyers, solicitors, perhaps. That being said, the legal system in the US has always kind of intrigued me. Because I can't think of any other country where personal liability is such a profitable industry to work in. It's like there are like lawyers and solicitors in other countries, of course. Specifically in other countries with like democratic or parliamentary systems of government and review of law. But like, the US is the only country that I can think of that has such a prominent personal injury wing. Especially when it comes to advertisements. Now I am a firm believer in the ad block, so I don't end up with ads very often. But usually when I do get ads, it's on YouTube mobile, because there's not really a consistent way on iOS to remove ads from YouTube without YouTube Red, which I don't really want to pay for. What am I thinking of? So, for me, the YouTube ads that come up are the same ad over and over again for YouTube Chromebooks, gaming Chromebooks, which will always be an oxymoron to me, and you cannot convince me otherwise. I would buy a Chromebook as a burner computer and basically a computer for my children that I'm not comfortable with giving a full-on Windows computer. I'm not buying it because it's a gaming computer. So can I not get Extreme Fever, or will it just fail the level? I can't, huh? Very interesting. Oh, I mistimed it. I'll give it one more shot, and then I think I'm gonna call it. But I either get the Chromebook ads, or I don't even remember what else. Some, like, clothing company. But, on TV, which I don't really watch much of myself, but just, like, when I go to visit my parents or things like that, it always seems to be personal injury. There's always at least one of... What is it? Like, we won't pay you unless you win. Look at all these people who won tons of money. It's like the way to describe it is as if you're playing the stock market or playing a slot machine. Look at how much these people won. You can win too. Just call now. We won't charge you unless you win. And in the event that you win, you're only making like, God, I don't even know how much money. It's not a lot. Because the way that those companies actually make money is they get the bulk of the payout, and then they ask you to pay the legal fees, to my understanding. Because then, no matter what, they're positive in money. Either they lose and they make you pay for the legal fees, or they win and they get the bulk of the payout. Alright, one more time. I know when to quit, I swear. Because that is a fun lens to see the world through. Though it's not a lens that you should see the world through very often, because it makes you a very cynical man. Is to look through the world, at all companies and say, okay, but how do you make money? And I mean, for instance, if I had been using that lens to look at the Unity debacle, I would have seen it coming a lot longer ago. Basically, as soon as John Riccatello became CEO of the company, I would have seen what direction the wind was blowing there. But with companies like, you think of insurance companies, you think of medical services. That was cool. And you just think to yourself, okay, well, how do you pay the bills? You have a lot of people and a lot of jobs requiring a lot of certifications, so presumably you're paying them a lot, and if you're not, screw you. Oop, ah. Oh my god, that was lucky. We did it. Ultra extreme. Alright, I'm not doing any of the other challenges. That took ages, and I'm out of conversation topics besides talking about law.
Cleverly done.
Cleverly done. That's all I got for now, I think. Thanks so much for watching.